Conversations with Friends. Conversations with Friends.
Conversations with Friends.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Great night tonight, and welcome to Conversations with Friends. Tonight's episode, we will be discussing a very interesting topic. The topic is in question form, and it's two questions: Do women like to be pursued, and do men like to chase? Um, and this question is interesting. Tonight, my co-host, the chef, Melodic Storm, is here, and it seems like we haven't done a show in so long. Seems like a while ago. It seems, I always say this during this time of the year, it always goes very slow and it's dragged on. It always seems like from Thanksgiving, which is the fourth Thursday of November, until the ball drops. It's always a slow time during the year. So, without further ado, Melodic, how you doing? How's everything going?
I'm doing well. Q, how are
Mhm.
you?
Well, I'm doing good. It's interesting. I had some days off in the beginning of the week, and then I worked extra overtime during the end of the week. So it kind of has me a little discombobulated. I'm looking forward to this coming week where I'm going to be off for the next 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually take off during the winter time because for me it's a little time to, as they say, reboot towards the end of the year. And during the summer, I'm not a super beach person like some people like to play with their feet in that sand.
Oh,
So you know, you're low. I can't even see you now. You're hiding up under the screen. But anyway,
I'm sorry. Okay. Can you see me now?
so very little, halfway. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. So melodic. The 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 topic of our show tonight is: Do women like to be pursued, and do men like to chase? And we were discussing some things behind the scenes. Would you like to take the lead tonight, or do you want me to lead? Or
I'd just like to have a conversation, and I'm sure it will be very, very interesting.
I think that when we do discuss pursuing a woman, pursuing someone, I think there's so many other factors nowadays that must come into play. Where you're at, as we would say, the temperature of the room or where you're at, what
Absolutely.
type of setting where you're at, who's she with, who are you with.
Right.
I believe that most women naturally want to be pursued. If they see a guy that's nice looking or whatever, they would want the guy to break the ice.
Okay.
Um,
I think it depends on the mood, and I think it depends on the man. And I also think it depends on the approach.
we were look we were discussing something, so I'm gonna bring it up, and it's not too evasive. And
Okay.
I was saying to melodic, I don't think that women, and I'm just going to use the social setting for our type of age group.
Okay.
Our age group is um a lot of people go to places where maybe alcohol may be served, a nice lounge or whatever, or to a bar, not no hole in the wall or whatever.
Right.
So I think that I was saying to melodic, you guys in the chat, that I don't think that a woman should ever um accept a man to buy her a drink.
Mm.
Definitely a man that she don't knows. Now, if she knows him, that's different. And the reason why I say that is because I believe from what I see on social media and what a lot of women say when they go out is they will get drinks from a guy, but they may not be interested in him. And I
Mm.
think that sets a bad precedent to accept a gift like a drink, because a drink is a gift at the end of the day. He's choosing Hey, what you drinking? You mind if I buy you a drink?
Mm-hmm.
So then he maybe say, okay, with this drink comes conversation. And that conversation lead to numbers being exchanged. And I'm a firm believer that a woman knows within the first 10 to 15 minutes of seeing you, sizing you up, whether she'll even be interested in you if she's available.
I would
So
say that that's true. I would say that that's true. I think initially we're all, attracted by, the person's first and foremost appearance, and then conversation. You're checking the person out. Then you're having a conversation. You're trying to see where their head is. Is this person basically just trying to score, or do I see value in this person?
yeah, so to just explain a scenario, a woman is not I just think that most women when they see a guy and they're not attracted to, they may curve him or deter him a little bit harshly. And I believe that because of the way that we formed the show with these two questions, these
Mhm.
two questions are very subjective.
Absolutely.
And we would like you guys in the chat to join us because we don't know. We know by what we see, what we hear. You may be a woman and I may be a guy that naturally, as I was raised and what a man should do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Naturally, I'm a old school, so I do believe in pursuing a woman. However, I believe that nowadays is so much stuff that you have to think about if you're going to pursue someone as a man. And I
Right.
can only speak from a man's perspective because you can't do it on your place of employment. That's a no-no because
Oh,
it's no way you could win that way.
right.
And
Right.
I say that respectfully because it happens a lot where and then we I discussed it before of relationships in the workplace. The best thing that I can always give anybody is try not to even give a coworker a compliment because if it's taken the wrong way from that person, now you up in HR. Now it's an issue. So the best way so now like going back to the original thought was it can't be in the workplace. So now you have to literally check the vibe. So you're somewhere social, you're somewhere. I think you might need to even, even ask the young lady's friends. Was she? Is she available?
Right.
Because the way we are in society nowadays, from what I know, from what women say, they'll reject you, and then men can't accept the rejection, and then it goes into somewhere else. We've seen a bunch of stuff on social media where women have literally been assaulted just because they didn't want to be bothered with a guy.
Absolutely. 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 I mean, let's be honest. I think that egos can be very, fragile. I think that when someone's approaching you, they're actually they're being vulnerable. They're letting you know that hey, I'm attracted to you. I think you're very nice looking, and I'd like a chance to have a conversation with you to see that see if we have anything in common. Let's see if we can this can go somewhere. But I also feel like your intention should always be pure, and I think that a lot of women nowadays um, start off on negative footing when someone approaches them. And just because you're not interested in someone, that does not necessarily mean that you have to hurt their feelings. Like that's not cool.
You lost volume.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you had lost volume for a second.
Okay. So what did you hear?
How you said that you were saying how a lot of women perceive it as negative
Well, I
in the
feel like they
beginning.
start off on a negative, footing. And all I feel like, sometimes they're so full of themselves that they can be rude and disrespectful to the guy, and that's not cool either. If you're not interested in someone, that's okay. You can say it nicely. You can be nice about it. You don't have to be nasty about it. I feel like you know, your intent should always be pure and kind.
You lost volume again.
I don't know what's going on, Q.
I don't know neither. Still worse, right?
I know it really is.
I lost about the last 10 seconds of what you said.
Really.
I think that I think that in retrospect to what you were saying about the women, um, oh, they heard everything. They heard everything. It was mostly on my end.
Oh, okay.
That I think a lot of women just have their guard up, and I do know some females that could be a little harsh, but I
Absolutely.
think that unfortunately, I think their personal experience makes them harsh and it carries it like, I just want to go out. I got stuff going on at home, whatever they got going on at home. I got to deal with these people at work. I just want to go out with my girls and just chill and don't be bothered with no, as they would say, N word.
Right, right,
Then you got the guy he's pursuing. He he's zeroed in. She's the catch for the night, or he's the one. Like she caught his eye, and he's like, can I buy a drink? Are you available? Bada bada bada. And then she already came in, like you said, with the attitude of she just wanted to hang out with her girlfriends. But I think that like you said, we sometimes don't realize socialization doesn't just mean you could socialize with the people you want to socialize with. If you're going out to a setting, like a lounge or something, you're literally saying that this lounge is saying, I'm safe at this lounge. So whoever comes in this lounge, I'm gonna feel like, I'm at Cheers, like I'm in my own backyard or whatever. I should be feeling okay. The vibe, the people, whoever's in there, um, I should be okay. I think that men, from what I see,
mm,
um, they don't want to be called thirsty. They don't want to be eat the ego thing may feel attacked. Like
for
here it is.
sure.
I just want to buy the young lady a drink, get to know her, and here it is. She tried to clown me in front of people,
Well,
clown me in
okay.
front of her girls.
So let's also touch on the fact that men don't respond well to rejection. Even if you're some men, even if you're being nice in your rejection of that man, sometimes I mean like I said, I'm never rude or disrespectful to anyone, and there have been instances where someone didn't like the fact that I turned them down, and they may have been rude or disrespectful, and that's crazy also.
We someone in the chat, my Ratchet Studios, and I thank you for always supporting the channel, Ratchet Studios. I know we've been throwing you off with some of our shows, but I really respect your support for everything you do for us.
Thank
You
you.
said, I think it's 50-50 shot between past experience and narcissism. That influences an individual's attitude at the first moment. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. And it comes with age. I
Agreed.
think I know when I was a little bit younger, I was bolder. I was bolder, like if I get curved, I get curved. But I didn't take it too personal. Now, the disrespect, I treat it with disrespect the same way, but I
Right.
think I was bolder. I think nowadays, like, I'm amazed when a female says about a male that he's thirsty. I'm amazed at that. I'm amazed at that type of response because somebody is showing an interest in you. You take it as thirst. Just say to him, look, I don't want to be bothered. I'm with somebody, or right now I'm not looking for somebody.
Right.
And then if he goes somewhere else after that, I believe that's when it shouldn't even be considered thirsty. It should be, now you're harassing me because I told you straight up I'm with somebody, or I'm not interested right now. Just leave it at that. But to call him thirsty now, that's the attack. That's the come out punch and throw punches being thrown. I'm a fragile his ego because nobody want to seem like they're chasing nobody
Right.
or being thirsty.
Agreed. Agreed. Um, but let's talk about just the commonality of the topic. Um, Common belief is that women do like to be pursued. Um, I think that some women like to be desired. Well, I think all women, well, not just women. I think all women and all men like to be desired. But it's definitely an ego boost to some women when when guys try to approach them. So I definitely
I'm
feel
I'm gonna ask you. Do you think that the pursued wants a specific, like for example, right? The young lady sitting there, two guys come in there. The guy that she's not attracted to is the one that's pursuing her.
like.
Now, because he was a little bit more aggressive, now she got to be like, I'm not interested in you. Most women will be like, now since his friend done pushed up on me, I can't even talk to his friend because it'll look real kind of like cheap and cheesy. But
Mhm.
because of that scenario, do you think that the times have changed where if a young lady is interested in a guy, she might need to let him know because he may be oblivious of it. He may not even be thinking that he's on her radar.
Well, um, no, not necessarily. I feel like whatever's meant for you is meant for you. It won't miss you if that situation is meant to be. I prefer when things happen organically, and I think most women prefer when things happen organically. I think that men are natural hunters; they like to hunt. But I also find that men do not respond well when they're being chased. They don't like that.
It goes back to that. I think that some men do like being chased. I think that I think that some men are very, as we always say, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. I
Hmm.
think that's where the similarities kind of are agreement. If a woman pursues a man, if he's not interested in her, he might not clown her like the women may do, or it may appear like the women are doing,
Hmm.
but he may be a little reluctant with making himself available for her.
Hmm.
And then vice
Possibly.
there is it's a weird dynamic, and I think that like I was saying, I think that it's always changing because of what goes on in society. I think years ago it may have been easier, like, I'm interested in her. I'm gonna show up at her job and bring her some flowers. Now, Joker may be like, "How you know where I work at? You
Right.
don't be coming to my job
That's a
because
little
some,
creepy. That's a
yeah,
little creepy, Q.
yes,
Don't hide in my bushes. No, thank you.
ex- exactly." Even, and it's the crazy thing is like the whole courtship has changed because some women like to be courted. They love nice things, and rightfully so, and they want a guy that's pursuing her to show that he's sincere in his pursuit.
Agreed.
But then, based off of his experiences, it's like a tug of war you got to go through nowadays because you got to figure out what type of individual the person is before you even go.
Right.
Because, like you said, some women will perceive it as, "Yo, dude, you creepy." Nowadays, with social media and being able to find out someone's location, if you do want to be a man that shows through gifts and you work hard and you really interested in it and you trying to show her like, I want her to know, like, look, I'm not just no creep. I want her to understand, like, I'm really trying to court her.
So bring her flowers when you have a planned date. Let's say you guys are meeting up for coffee. Let's say you guys are meeting up for lunch, for dinner, or what have you. Then bring her the flowers. Don't just pop up at her job and bring her some flowers. Like no, that's not cool. Unless unless you're in a relationship with that person and they do know where you work and they want to surprise you, that's one thing. But when you're just dating and getting to know someone, like, that's super creepy. That would be scary to me, honestly.
See, and that's what I mean.
Yeah, I wouldn't
For
be
for
flattered.
you gotta a guy would have to know what type of. I don't know why I can't hear you.
I don't know why you can't hear me.
But that's
You
what
know
I
what?
mean.
Let me put on my headset. Maybe that'll work better. Let me put on my headset.
It'll go in and out. 1 minute I can hear you, the next minute I can't.
Okay, I'm gonna put on my headset. Give me one sec.
So you guys in the chat, tell us what you think. Tell us if you're single, how do you pursue? If you're a man, how do you pursue a woman? And if you're a woman, how do you want to be pursued if you're single? And if you're in a relationship, how did you pursue the current relationship that you're in? And how and were you pursued and who made the first attempt? Um because like we said, nobody wants to perceived as being a thirst bucket, as they say, and nobody wants to be perceived as I'm interested in her, but I'm being so passive. So now she think I'm serious, but then I'm showing I'm serious 1 minute, I'm not serious the next minute.
Mm.
Now I hear you great.
Okay, so then it was the headset. I
And a
needed that.
little and it's a little delayed, but we'll be okay.
Okay. I also want to
So
say
so
this.
so Ratchet Studios say
Okay, right.
go with the flow, and don't put too much through it. Don't push too much through into. Don't push too much thought into it. Oh, true. King said body language and eye contact. I mean, sometimes King, and I'm not disputing what you're saying. Sometimes people, man, you go out to a spot and you see somebody and they be looking like the whole meal. And you got a great eye contact. The eye contact is chemistry, but then they might not be interested in you.
Right, right. Agreed.
Because some people are very social.
Sociable. Exactly.
Some people will sit, talk to you, introduce their name to you, ask you how you doing, what type of job you got, what are you into? Hey, I'm such and such. What's going on? And they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not here for that. I'm just here
Right,
because I'm social." Definitely, if you're in one of your regular spots, you're a regular, and you see for a guy, you at your regular spot, where the bartender know your name. Y'all know how it goes in them spots. And then it's a bunch of young ladies that come in there. You buy one a drink, and then her girls may come in there from afterward. You buy them a drink, and you're very sociable.
hmm
Where sometimes the body language, the mixed messages get there, and then you know somebody has been proceeded the wrong way. Maybe we should have titled the show "Proper Way to Court Someone" in 2022 going to
right,
23.
right, right. Um, just off of like different conversations that I've had. Someone I had a conversation with said that men don't approach women anymore, and that's not true because I know plenty of men who still approach women. Like I said, I have lots and lots of conversations. People just come up to me and strike up conversations on the train, in the city, at the doctor's office, whatever. Like, I don't know. Maybe I have a friendly face, but and men do still approach women. But I do notice that the women are more aggressive nowadays. Again, like I said, I have a lot of conversations with a lot of different people, and someone actually said that the way that they live in Atlanta, and they said the way that the women approach the men down there, it's like unbelievable. Um, and it seems like the married men are getting approached the most. Believe it
Mm.
or not, even when it's like common knowledge that this person is married and they wear their rings, etc. Yeah, they get approached. Someone actually told me that a female told him, "I'm okay with being your number two." And he said to her, "Oh my God, that is the most unattractive thing you could have ever said."
Well, I do think for those that are doing the dating scene, doing the scene to chase and to be pursued. You mentioned Atlanta. When you're in different environments, different cities, I believe that it's going to be stronger. From what I know a little bit about Atlanta, like you said, the women are maybe a little aggressive because it may be a shortage of the men that might be in their wheelhouse. So I believe that it's interesting that when you are definitely for the traveler nowadays who may be single, who wants to be pursued and wants to pursue, they need to know that temperature.
Right,
Because if you're an aggressive man or aggressive woman and you approach a person that's very laid back,
hmm
they may get offended by the way you approach them. They may look
right,
at you like, as we said, the thirst bucket thing, like, dude,
right,
like, you know, I'll just say from because we're from the Northeast, a male will be like, "How you doing, ma?" You take that ma somewhere else, or you done call somebody ma, they gonna look at you like, "I ain't your mother." Where where we're from, that's a figure of speech. Like a
right.
dude called you ma. Now, don't keep doing it because now I know your vocabulary's not up to par. But if you just be like, "Hey ma, how you doing?" Okay, but you take it somewhere else, Joker. The male or the female gonna be looking at you like, "I am not your mother, boy." Like,
Agreed, agreed, agreed. But again, I feel like there is definitely a respectful way to turn someone down. Um, yeah, you don't have to be rude and disrespectful at all. I never agree with being rude and disrespectful.
yeah, Ratchet Studios, you have put this statement up, and I find that interesting that women want men that other women desire. I think that's for a lot of us. I think that's the animal instinct, sort of say. Like, damn, if sis ain't checking for this dude and she around him every day, or he don't got women that think that he's an attractive man and he smells good, he dressed good, he don't get no compliments throughout the day from just people in general. Like, why would I be interested in him? And it's interesting because I did do some research for the show, it does say that in certain surveys that women are attracted to men that other women like, which,
Mm,
you know, I find that interesting.
mm,
I mean, I think that it goes back to that zeroing. I think that when people go into certain scenarios, you see somebody you like or you're attracted to, everybody else in the room, you ain't even thinking about whether they look nice or not. You zero in on that person, and that'll probably be your whole focus on getting to know that person.
agreed. But yeah, no. I don't know. I don't find attached guys attractive. I
Well, what Ratchet
think it
Studio said,
also.
he just said that that was in response to married men getting ran down on.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, I have heard that definitely for the brothers that's married that are into wearing their ring, because some people don't wear rings, and that's neither here nor there. But the ones that are always into their ring, I know that they'd be like, "Yo, if I wear my ring, I get more attention." Which some people, and we got to understand that just because somebody is pursuing you, that doesn't mean that their intention for you is pure. Somebody may just be
Right,
pursuing you just for that night.
right,
Somebody may be like, you know what? He got a ring. He a nice looking guy. I just want to deal with him for this night. or I just want, I don't want no strings attached. And as we've gotten older, I believe that people of a certain age find out with more clarity now. I know a friend of mine, she was voicing some things about the dating scene, and probably I'll probably do a further show on it. But people don't want to be lied to.
Right.
As they say, keep it a buck, keep it 100. Nowadays people just don't want to be lied to. If you with somebody, you into me, you not into me, am I attracted? What is going to be? Like, I ain't got no time to be playing these games with you
There
or
you
nobody
go.
else. We too old.
Hello. You just get too old for certain things. Right.
Yeah.
Everybody
Or
ain't playing. Hello.
if you have somebody and you know them, I think that for people of a certain age, sometimes you just don't even want to be bothered with that person for a relationship. Sometimes you just value their friendship
True.
and be like, nah, I care about their friendship more than I care about everything.
Right.
I don't think that, and this is something that I see now more than before. When you're younger, you have a lot of friends that may be of the opposite sex, but when you get older, you really start to value the opposite sex friendships, and basically you're cool with the opposite sex, and it's not I'm pushing up or they
Right.
pushing up on me. No, we just friends, and we get along.
Agreed. Agreed. Well, first of all, I think that I definitely value opposite sex friendships. I remember we had a show. I don't know if you remember this, Q. Sometime last year about whether or not men and women can be friends, and I absolutely believe that men and women can be friends. And I honestly I value my opposite sex friendships. Um, and I know that those people, value our friendship as well. You bounce ideas off of one another. Look at me and you, especially because of the show. We talk about so many different things. We go over so many different topics, and it's valuable information. And
And it allows you to get to know what the opposite sex is thinking. It
right,
allows you to get to know you who you are as a person sometimes, and what understanding your why to what makes you like, oh, am I thinking the right way? You want to you want to have those things, like even when we discussed to do the show,
right,
because of our age and being in the middle, what we would be considered the prime of our lives, our perspective on things are different compared to our own personal values.
right,
Because like I told you, I wouldn't even know what to give no advice to no younger guy. And I know I can give some younger guys some advice, but because of what's going on in society, the Me Too, I don't know what God. I gotta really know these guys now, because if he get curved, I gotta tell him like, look, dude, don't take rejection the wrong way.
right.
Because if he's fragile, he may take rejection as something, and he may lash out. I mean, I believe that we all have a purpose and a way to give back to, as they say, pay it forward. I wouldn't know what to say to a younger guy. Even with my son is not in he my son is in a relationship, and even now I know how my son kind of thinks with certain things, but I'm like more hands off of that. I
Right.
just watch. I don't say nothing.
You don't give
Um
advice?
no, well,
What if he does ask?
him and when he asks, him and his young lady, we talk. I talk to both of them, and what I personally admire her, but I don't bring my personal stuff into him. I
Okay.
let him say what he says, and I don't judge how he feels. I don't judge how his thought process is about it.
Mhm.
I'm glad that he feels the way he feels about her and what he wants to do in the future. And it makes me proud. But at the end of the day, I don't say nothing. I don't say much, because it's so different nowadays.
It absolutely is. I think that people's value systems are so different. Like it's
Ra- Ratchet Studio said, Melodic, Ratchet Studio said, I agree, just be careful during the winter. See what I mean? And that has always been a stereotype that about the winter, and I guess I'm assuming that you mean, guys in relationships. That's a stereotype that can be true, cannot be true, but that's something that a lot of people do have a guard about.
right.
I know that a lot of women, a lot of the female friends that I have, after the relationship is over, they say, "Oh, I should have known," or "I seen the signs," or this, that, and the third. And I'm not saying they should be accountable for his actions, because you can only be accountable for your own actions. But it's amazing how it usually ends the way it started.
I think that most people see the red flags. I think that because people have their own agendas, they ignore the red flags. But you shouldn't ignore red flags. Like if it's something that, well, first of all, you should address it regardless. But um, if it's something that can, you guys can work on, and both people are willing to work on it, then okay. But if not, then that's not your person.
Yeah. And then uh, I have to bring this up. Like, I just think sometimes we be in a fantasy world. Like, social media puts. I'm gonna speak for guys.
Mhm.
I hope guys ain't looking for this perfect woman. I hope
Does
guys is
not
not looking
exist.
for, like, I hope guys is not looking for this woman on social media that got this Coca-Cola body,
Right.
that she's just gonna be subservient to you. Cause maybe you may find that one. Don't get mad when you settle then. If you want that specific young lady in your life, don't settle for nothing else. If that's what you want, you settle for something else because you choose to settle for something else, not because you were forced to settle for anything else.
Hmm.
Because we sometimes people make decisions and say, "Well, I settled." No, you settled because you wanted to do it,
Right.
not because nobody forced you to do it. I mean, I just think that social media will have us thinking, "Well, I'm gonna meet this female. She's gonna be this age. She's gonna have this type of body. She's gonna weigh this. She's gonna make this amount of money, and I'm gonna make this, and I'm gonna take care of her, and I'm gonna do."
Right.
Okay,
Right. And that's not
keep.
realistic. You can think whatever you want. You can, want whatever you want. But in actuality, your person or the person that may be the best match for you, the best friend you've ever had, the most loyal person you've ever dealt with, and just makes you feel good all around, may not be your ideal
Or they could go to
person.
DR, or they could go to DR and import you exotic.
Well, my thing is love the person for who they are. And like I said, everybody, nobody, everyone is not a size 4 or a size 6, and that's just, again, that's not realistic. All of these girls are spending all of this money fixing their bodies, etc., and it's like, if somebody was really into you like that and really checking for you like that, it wouldn't matter. Take your butt to the gym, go to the gym, and make sure that you're healthy and keep yourself together in that aspect. But you don't have to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. Guys are not perfect. There's no such thing as the perfect man. Everybody has bullshit with them. It just depends on whose bullshit you're willing to put up with.
Hmm. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the show. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're watching us on Facebook, make sure you hit the like button. This is the way that the algorithm triggers, and this is the way that it grows the channel and it grows the show. Melodic and myself are here every first and third Sunday of the month with conversations with friends. Next, the first, we don't know if we're going to do a show yet on the first. We might do a show. I'm quite sure we'll do something for our next show. But Melodic, do you have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Interesting fact here. Scientifically, having a crush and falling for someone releases some feel good hormones like dopamine and adrenaline, and it gives you a euphoric feeling. So there is some scientific facts that actually play into the whole chasing someone or wanting to be desired. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, before we close, I just got one word from one of our sponsors for the show tonight.
Melodic Celebrations, specializing in event decorations. Call us today for a quote so we can make your next event beautiful.
So Melodic has her own business on the side, and she sponsors the show. And you want to explain what type of business it is, Melodic, outside of the commercial?
Okay, it's an event decoration business. So I decorate weddings, birthday parties, baby showers, bridal showers, bachelorette parties, romantic picnics. Give us a call for a quote. The prices are definitely reasonable, and take some of the work up off of your plate.
What area? What area are you located in?
The tri-state area and Pennsylvania.
Great. Well, with that, the only final thought that I have is uh, appreciate you guys, Ratchet Studios. Always appreciate you, and to know that when we discuss issues like this, these issues go back to the core of conversations with friends to further conversation to get a better understanding of each other and the close this division that has creeped into our community and definitely into our relationships, male and female. With
Absolutely.
that, everybody have a blessed night. Take care, and we will see you soon for our next show. Look out for the thing in the community. Look out for the flyer in the community section on further shows. With that, take care. Have a blessed night.
Good night.